Okay, hello everybody and welcome to another Kerbal Space Program video. And today we are first of all gonna extend these antennas on our space station that we are now building, and the next part we're gonna put up here with the giant SSTO rocket is some solar panels, so we can get some solar energy, so we don't have to rely on that those fuel cells, because they are actually not working good enough. I didn't show you now, but I checked before, and they are not giving enough electricity to keep it going, so we need these fast. We're gonna use, and since this is a live stream, I am gonna talk about random things while I do this. I thought I'd just give a little explanation of what I am doing. I, like you saw, started off with the stock giant solar panels, but I thought I wanted to go with the solar panels that are in this mod that's called Near Future Solar. I just think it's called that. It was a while ago that I got it, but they have really nice solar panels. I really recommend it. And here I'm basically done with it. It's not much. And there I did a mistake by not having more monopropellant on, because I didn't think I was gonna need more, but you'll see later that I definitely did. But I put some batteries on, so I have 4,000 units of electric charge on that. And here comes the giant SSTO rocket that is going to fly this up. And of course, this is way, way more capable than this small thingy that we're sending up, these solar panels. And you can also see the rocket looks ridiculous. But enough of me. Now let's go to this launch. I'm gonna set this as target, and gonna have it come around like there, probably. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do a quick save if something messes up. And off we go. And indeed, something did mess up. And when I got this to orbit and thought I would deploy the fairing, well, this happened. Okay. Something went wrong. That's not good. Let's try this again. Okay, so you can deploy it. It was just how I deployed it in some way. I must have been terrible or something. I know that clipping right there was a bit weird, but I had to cut out when I tested the fairing, and I could deploy it while I was stationary, so I thought, why not just try this again? And this time I did get into orbit with no problem, as you can see here. Before I deploy this, let's just... Yes! Yes! No Kraken today! And you have probably seen docking being made countless of times, and there are so many videos on it, so I thought I'd just skip this part. Just gonna time warp some there, and I'm using physical time warp now to get this to move around because it's so heavy, it's so big. Now we just lost that intercept, but we're gonna get it back. by doing this. And now we have a separation of just 100 meters. 100 meters. So actually we're gonna quick save here as well. Quick saves are the best things in the world. We're just gonna do it like this. And now we're gonna try and get it in to the light. I'm just gonna use the RCS because I think we don't have that much monopropellant left, so we're not gonna use that actually. Gonna have to use the engines. Didn't I have... oh. But anyways. Now we're parked to it. We're actually moving away from it. And we're gonna decouple. And now we're just steering this. We're gonna put this to orbit. And put it like that. And that will hopefully steer itself. And now we're gonna decouple the next one, which is this. And that just shoots off and exploded something. What happened? Did everything explode? Hello? Why can't I go to these ones? Did everything just explode? Okay, I'm gonna quick load this one. This is not going well. I'm telling you, this is not going well. Let's point ourselves to retrograde. Start burning already. Okay, this is hard. It's so hard to steer this vehicle because it's gigantic. Simply huge. And yet we're gonna be in the light when we get close to it now, yeah. There, we're in the light. Wonderful. And we're just gonna cancel out our velocity. We're even moving away from it. Couple. That went good. We're gonna point this another way before we decouple this. Gonna set that as target. And just let that drift away now and not drift into us again. And this docking procedure is pretty standard right now. Most people know how to do it, and there are other videos out there of people doing it, so I'm not gonna bother explaining things here. I am using though the docking alignment indicator, which is a very useful mod, especially when you are building big space stations, that this is going to be essentially. It's very useful. It makes those tedious long docking sections just so much faster and easier. And talking about doing things fast and easy, here I'm trying to make this maneuver and I am forgetting about something, so something goes wrong. I'm gonna come in pretty quickly here, just because I'm tired of waiting. No, our monopropellant went out. No. Okay, quickly get to the station. Control from here. Set as target. Point at target. We're still moving towards it. No! You're screwing me up. Gentle movements. You are not pointing yourself at the target at all. You are screwing me up. I don't know why it does this when you have a docking port that's not at the center of mass, or close to it at least. And I thought that I would skip this bit too because this was really long. Since I messed up the first one, I really didn't want to mess up this one as well. And we are successfully docked. Wonderful. Finally. We're gonna point this in a direction now. We're gonna steer from another direction as well. So we can get some cool shots of this. We're gonna point it like this, yes. And we're gonna extend everything. And I am so sorry that I didn't put any action groups to this. I probably should have. But they're only going out once. So that's our solar panels. Now we have energy for days, for weeks, for centuries. And although we have no data and no people on this either. So that's gonna be the next part of this. We're gonna have to get some Kerbals up here so they can start doing some experiments or something. Even though this is a sandbox save, they can still do experiments. They actually can, and you can get science from it. I don't know where the science end up, but you can do it. I have done it. Now we're gonna try to land this monstrosity. We have these staged right. Yes, yes. And I thought I had some action groups on these, actually, on this vehicle. So I could switch the engines, which engines I was using. So I could turn off the outer engines and I think these fours in the corner. But I must have removed that or something. I don't know. Now, landing one of these vehicles is not the easiest thing, and I'm gonna show you why right now. Because this is not an easy task, landing a vehicle this big on only its engines, and I'm not gonna try that for this, just because it would take too much time. Because it's really, really hard. You see, I can't even land this. Is it gonna stand up? Is it gonna stand up? Doesn't look like it's gonna stand up. It's not gonna stand up. No, no. Come on, don't break, don't break, don't break. It broke. Okay, let's do this again. Have to land it, god damn it. Otherwise, it doesn't fulfill the purpose of this video. Actually, we might try and get a bit closer this time by moving ourselves towards this. Put an RCS again towards that. And try and burn upwards a little bit before we hit the atmosphere, which we just have time for. So we push ourselves up a bit so we maybe can get a little bit closer to the space station. Not the space station. So we can get closer to the Kerbal Space Center. Of course, Kerbal Space Center. And the re-entry procedure is not something that is particularly funny to watch. So let's just speed through this. And during this ascent, I actually didn't have to use my engines at all, which is very good. It saves a lot of fuel and can save you money if you play in career. Now we're gonna slow ourselves down. And those G-forces kick in there. Let's deploy these. Deploy the other parachutes. And this is gonna slow us down significantly. Wonderful. I actually made it. We can put out our air brakes as well, just because if we would fall over, which there is a really big chance of, and because it's not very stable with these legs, so if we fall over, the air brake sometimes takes the fall and allows me to, it allows me to recover the craft, but just not those. Oh, no. And yes, we are landing on a slope. Of course we are. Like always. No, don't break the It broke. But we only lost one of these, so I'm gonna take that as a win, actually. Not only because I'm a bit lazy right now, but because seriously, if you would land that, wouldn't you just keep the craft and say, hey, it's good enough? It's everything except one part. You wouldn't just throw that away. And that is it for this time. Thank you very much for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in part 3.